Hey, good morning, everyone. Maybe some students getting up right now to head off to school. Maybe some employers out there as well, and parents. We're talking about what's really holding young workers back. So this is about people that are just entering the workforce. First off, what's happening right now?
So this, I wanted to do this story specifically because Maclean's did it on their front page. So if you go to your newsstands, you can actually see it. It's a great article. And I've been working with young people in industries for almost 20 years. So this is totally up my alley. And one of the things that they cite all kinds of interesting things, but certainly things that I've actually seen. So here's what they are actually finding is that there's a couple of really big problems. Problem number one is that for a lot of young people, these new grads, they're finding themselves in entry-level jobs for about 5 years.
Right. So
that's pretty discouraging. You get your degree, your diploma, and you're like an entry. This is not the dream that they actually have. So that's actually quite frustrating. So that's problem number one. But then employers are saying, well, here's what we are finding is that what we really want, we don't want so much the degrees and the diplomas. Yes, that's important, but what we really want are the soft skills.
Right.
We want the time management, the organization, the interpersonal. You can call it soft skills. You can call it emotional intelligence.
Life experience.
Life experience. Yeah. And the challenge is that a lot of times we hear about soft skills and emotional intelligence, but we don't really understand why it's so important. And this article goes on in a really, really great way saying, we need this. If we don't have those skills, and it's interesting, over the last year I've been developing a careers program for young people. And part of it is actually I've been interviewing the top 50 different industry experts on what they would be actually recommending for young people as part of a podcast series on our website. And I'm telling you, exactly this article, it was so consistent with what those industry experts are actually saying. Like, we need that experience. That's what that's what we're actually looking for.
Okay, so maybe we have lots of people that are book smart coming out.
Yes.
How do these students right now become street smart almost in terms of the workforce? Okay,
so there's a couple things that they can do. Number one is realizing the importance of getting a job. A lot of times people, and I was actually speaking to high school students as well. A lot of times
while they're in school.
Yes, and this is part of the dilemma because a lot of parents are thinking, I don't want my kids to be working because I want them to be focused in their school. The problem is that we're seeing more and more kids where they're going off to university, college, their resume is totally blank. There's nothing on it. So there is an important value in terms of getting some part-time work while you're actually going into school. Obviously, you can be doing summer jobs. You can also be doing volunteering, job shadowing, we were talking about earlier. Yeah. Anything that you can actually get that experience, because you can actually learn about emotional intelligence and soft skills and interpersonal and how you deal with conflict and all of that. You can learn it intellectually, but you're not really crafting that skill until you're in the market.
Right.
So it's a matter.
People that have McDonald's
on
their resume. Employers are amazed. They
it's
love
actually one of the best trainings. McDonald's actually does one of the best trainings for it. And so really understanding the value of that and not downplaying job shadowing and volunteering. And sometimes, a lot of times, it's just getting in the door and then doing an amazing job, developing that relationship with your employer, and hopefully that's going to lead to something else. And also from an employer's perspective, part of their challenge is that they're reluctant. This is what the article talks about. They're reluctant to be hiring because I don't want to really invest into training young people if they're going to be gone in 3 years.
Right.
So, but this study, they cite some good research around if companies are investing into their employees, there's a much higher chance that young people are going to actually stay. It does actually help to in terms of retention.
Sometimes they say young people have expectations that are just too high, though.
Yes. Yeah, and that's true. And so part of the managing is actually helping to manage those expectations. But part of emotional intelligence is that person that is not that arrogance kind of, I've got it all. It's very much of that humility going, here's what I know and here's what I don't know, and I'm willing to work. And it's those soft skills that are actually turning out to be more and more important in terms of from getting a job, for a job perspective. Okay,
we could talk about this forever, but for more information, you can go to the Maclean's article as well as DKleadership.org. That's Dr. Karyn Gordon's website. Thank you very much for coming this morning. And out there, get a spring job. It's the spring season right now. It's the time. There's lots out there. Okay, we'll take a break right now. Thank you very much.